Welcome to Game of Roses. I'm Chad Colchin, and today I have what is hopefully the final chapter in the Tyler Francis paternity scandal that rocked this past season of Love is Blind Season 7. Two huge events have happened this past week. On November 6th, Ashley Adionser, that is the woman that Tyler is now married to from the show, went on the Viall Files to try and clear some things up. And then the following day, on November 7th, Bri Thomas, who is the mother of Tyler Francis's children, went on the Jessie Woo show to directly address some of the things that Ashley said on the Viall Files. What we have for you today is all of those video clips from the Viall Files and from the Jessie Woo show that are integral to this story, to wrapping it all up. We're going to be playing them back to back. So you're going to get to see what Ashley said, and you're going to get to see how Bri responded to those statements. And before we get to that, though, our social media manager, Anya, here at Game of Roses, has done an incredible job of putting together a timeline of all the important events that led up to those two interviews. And then also she put together this interview package that's going to be comparing both of them. So stick around for that. But let's go through this timeline just so we understand where we're all at, what the important and crucial kind of pieces of information are as we move forward. I'm just going to read through this as quickly as I can. So to begin with, 2 weeks after Cairo was born, Cairo is Tyler and Bri's oldest son. 2 weeks after Cairo was born, her ex-wife Deshawn moved back to California. This is October of 2017. Tyler then reaches out to Bri to ask if he could step up to be a father to Cairo because he did not want Cairo to be raised by a single mother. Less than 2 months after Cairo was born, Tyler visits Bri and Cairo in Louisiana. That's November 2017. The twin girls are conceived shortly after in 2018. We know from everything Tyler has said and everything that Bri has said that they were conceived not in a donation capacity, shall we say. They were conceived naturally. The twin girls are born in April of 2019. After learning she was pregnant in 2018, Bri goes to a clinic to terminate the pregnancy, but after she was told she was carrying twins, she changed her mind, and Tyler then agrees that to raise all three children together. While pregnant with the twins, Tyler and Bri lived in the same apartment building, and Tyler regularly helped out on a daily basis. Closer to the twins' birth, Bri and Tyler moved in together, began renting a home, but still slept in different rooms. He slept in the basement, she slept in the primary bedroom upstairs. March of 2021, after Bri and Tyler began arguing about finances, Tyler asked Bri if he could claim the kids on his taxes. She said no. Tyler ghosted her then for 1 year. And then in March of 2022, Tyler and Bri resumed communication. September 2023, prior to leaving to film Love is Blind, Tyler is in communication with Bri and the kids and even attends his son's sports games 2 days before leaving to shoot Love is Blind Season 7. Bri and Tyler then continue communication the day he leaves and immediately when he gets his phone back during filming after coming back from Cabo. Bri reaches out to Ashley to apologize for the mess Tyler is creating, and she and Ashley agree to talk. Before Ashley and Bri can have that conversation, Bri notices that Tyler is starting to drift away again and is enraged by the lies about her and the kids, so she releases the videos on Instagram telling her side of the story. This is obviously as this most recent Season 7 of Love is Blind is airing. After posting all these videos, Bri and her mother then claim that Tyler reached out to her. Ashley supports that claim but says she doesn't know what was spoken about during this conversation, and that Tyler threatened to unalive himself if Bri continues. Bri then deletes her video posts on Instagram. Ashley blocks Bri on Instagram. Bri has no communication with Ashley or Tyler since those videos, and Bri and Tyler now have a court case that is happening this coming Friday, just a few days, on November 15th, to determine if Tyler is going to be held in contempt of court. And he missed the last court date, has yet to pay any of the child support to Bri. So that's where we are. That's the timeline of this entire family, this entire scandal. And now let's start to take a look at some of these things that they said in these two interviews. Again, this is going to be Ashley Adionser on the Viall Files, November 6th, followed by Bri on the Jessie Woo show, November 7th, literally the day after. Here we go. Okay, so this is what we can expect in these upcoming videos. Ashley's going to share what she knew initially about Tyler's situation and why he stepped up at the time to be the father. Bri then is going to clarify the timeline, how and why Tyler decided to step up as a father full-time, and then Bri is going to specify who is actually on the twins' birth certificate. Here we go.
So it was hard for me to navigate. I'm just so used to being very transparent that it was hard for me to navigate that conversation too, to try to make sure I didn't divulge anything. Like he said, there are three of them as a lesbian couple, like, whatever. Offline, he shows me pictures. That was more questions for me. And as I began to talk to him, his friends, his mom, and his family, is when I began to get a fuller picture of what was actually going on. And that's when I found out that, the ex-wife had left and Tyler stepped in, which the ex-wife's name is on the son's birth certificate. I've never seen the twins' birth certificate. And when the ex-wife left, she was pregnant with the twins. And Tyler grew up without a father. His father's like dying of bone cancer. He wasn't even invited to our wedding. And Tyler's like, when I gave my sperm, I gave it to a family, not for you to be a single mom. And that's when he jumped in.
So no, he was not supposed to be a father figure.
All right, so now here's kind of a direct response basically from Bri. And if you haven't watched the Jessie Woo show or Storytime with Rikki, that is Rikki's TikTok handle. Jessie Woo and Storytime with Rikki were kind of instrumental in breaking the story. I highly suggest checking out both of their feeds across all their social media, YouTube and everything.
However, things were rocky between me and my now ex-wife. And she left very early on after Cairo's birth. Very early. Like I want to say a couple weeks after Cairo was born. She moved, I should say. She moved back to California. Tyler asked me, I did not reach out to Tyler and ask him to please step up and be Cairo's other father. In my mind, I was going to now be a single mom to one child. Tyler reached out to me. He said that he did not want Cairo to be raised by a single mom. And we had this conversation like, hey, okay, well, let me make sure you don't have children yet. So let me make sure that this means spending time with him. This means a financial responsibility. This means helping out, like picking him up from daycare, taking him to daycare. Like if you are stepping up as his father, I would like help in regards to all of those things. And if you can't do that, then that's totally fine. Like you don't have to step up. He agreed. We both agreed. I said, let me think about it. It took me a couple days. Talked to like my best friend, like, hey, this is like Tyler's asking to be his dad or step in as his dad. And I ultimately I agreed, like, okay, like, yes, you are biologically his dad.
Yeah.
To me at the time, this is admirable. Like, thank you for doing this. Like, sure, Cairo's gonna have another parent. Yeah, I never reached out to him and asked him for this. But I was grateful that he did want to step in. And this was before Deshaun was before any kind of custody battle. This was him purely doing this because he felt that Cairo was going to be raised by a single mom and he wanted to step up.
Then also, just for the record, for the twins, who is on the birth certificate?
Yeah, Tyler is definitely on the birth certificate. He cut the umbilical cords. I had a C-section. He was there. He often tells stories about like how he had to see my stomach like completely cut open.
Video of it? Oh my God. Okay. All right. So there we have Tyler is on the twins' birth certificate, and him entering into these kids' lives as a father seems like it was a thought out thing. They had conversations about it, decided if it was the right thing to do. He said yes, she said yes, and that's where it is. All right, so now we have this next video here is going to be Ashley claiming that Tyler cut Bri and the kids off 100% prior to filming Love is Blind. Bri is then going to provide receipts proving that she and Tyler were in communication before and during the filming process. Jesus. Okay, here we go.
So he came to a point where whenever she would be in a new relationship, with a new woman, she wants to have a family with a woman.
Yeah.
And he would always be on the outside looking in. He has no rights. He can't say where they go to school. He can't say anything. He can't discipline. He can't do anything. So to him, he's like, I pop up and I'm an uncle and I play with them and I kiki. I wear these dad t-shirts that her mom is giving me, and put on this face, but this is not my family. I'm on the outside looking in. And originally, I did this to help someone else.
Yeah.
And then I put myself in this very uncomfortable situation. And that's why I tell people I think he was a good guy that got too deep and didn't know what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
So when he finally decided to cut the situation off, of course, it's awkward and it hurts him as well to know about the kids, but he felt like it was better to do it now than to wait any longer. And he's like, I want my own family. Like, I want my own things. Whereas she's probably like, well, damn, like you were around, why do this now? They just have two different perspectives, I would say.
Right.
Did he have any conversations with her post filming?
No. So when he decided to cut ties, she was upset.
So before he went in and filmed Love is Blind, he had cut ties with her.
100%.
Okay, I like Viall's getting to the bottom of this. Nice investigation, great one.
Didn't realize that.
100%.
29.
Okay, so 100% he has cut ties, is what Ashley is saying, before shooting.
September 29, 2023. So this is 2 days before he goes.
Yeah, that's him at Kai's game on the 30th. If you keep scrolling, there's messages. He came to my house. He's telling me like, oh, he's coming. And he came. He said bye. Keep scrolling. There's messages like, hey, like, did you need a ride to the airport? He tells me he got a ride. Then if you keep scrolling, there's messages like, hey, look what's everyone who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter. Tyler obviously knows this. He's like, hey, look at the videos that's on here. I'm like, you should watch them. Like, we're just like that's my friend. Like, I'm like, have you landed?
So this is there's the day, obviously he's taking pictures from him in the plane going to shoot. So clearly he didn't cut ties. These are very much ties that have not been cut. These are active ties. He's sending her messages and went to the kid's soccer game. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm so nervous for you. Like, good luck. We love you.
No, literally, you said that. You say, OMG, I'm so nervous for you. LOL. But anyway, good luck and have fun and happy early birthday. We love you. Like, this is in the text messages.
Yeah. And he says, I love you guys too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I love y'all too.
Yeah.
I
You
know.
on that aspect, I could appreciate why even her is also confused by how it's aired. But what I am confused about is that it seems like you guys have had some interactions and she knows. Does she know why? If she got the heads up in terms of like what she might expect, once you guys talked about it, how much did Tyler anticipate this being a topic that's aired?
So a topic that's aired on the show?
Yeah.
Great question. Great one. I'm very curious about this too. I maintain that they had multiple conversations off camera about exactly how to talk about this on camera, which means you're not telling the truth, generally speaking. It means that you need to figure out, in quotes, how to deliver the information, which means not in a totally truthful way.
Because
Well,
once it was aired, you would think that she would respond to it.
So ironically, we knew it would be mentioned, but
Yeah.
I always knew this would be a big thing once it aired. Even if he was just a regular sperm donor, like I knew, and it wasn't like blurred lines, I knew it would be a big thing because humanity has trouble comprehending and understanding anything taboo or out of their norm.
Yeah.
Humanity, they're on a reality show that's about relationships. So the idea that you can have this life outside of reality TV and it shouldn't be brought up, it's not like admissible in the show that you're on, is just wrong. This is what reality TV is now. I mean, you're watching me right now talking about this stuff because the stories extend beyond just what is in the frame of the television show. There's now social media, YouTube, you're going on podcasts talking about it. The story lives far beyond just the scope of that reality show. And so to have this idea that you could come in there and kind of navigate any piece of this story and tell it the way you want it told, and that was going to be the end of it, it's just always going to be wrong because there is such a robust fandom of all these shows now. I mean, if you go in like the Bachelor subreddit, it's like the FBI. They'll find out everything about someone's life if they go on one of these shows. That's just the way it is. And I think it's at this point in reality TV history, it is naive for people to go into reality television thinking anything less will happen to them. Personally, this is just my beliefs.
So I was the one saying, she's coming. I guarantee you when he was like, she would never do that. She would never do that. So there was no conversation with her or anything. Like because I was like, maybe reach out. I know that y'all aren't in the best terms, and maybe reach out and just say, hey, this is coming out. So like we could.
That's smart. That is very smart. You want to head this off at the pass if you can. And he didn't do that, I guess. And so she's made to, Bri, is made to watch all of this unfold on TV with the rest of America, which I'm sure made her feel some type of way. And that's why she put out those, the Instagram stories. And it's like her right to do that, obviously, because she's being brought into this show now, ultimately, as a result of their choice to talk about it. If they really wanted to kind of curb the reaction to this, they should have made an agreement to never mention it. Then it maybe would have been a scandal too. I think you're just screwed. If you go on a reality show like this and you have anything that you want to keep secret, or any piece of your life that's significant that you want to keep out of the narrative of the show, I just don't think it's possible at this point in reality TV history.
Couldn't even do that.
He comes back, I'm alive. I got selected to be followed. Just came back from Cabo. And you're like, oh, good for you. We knew you would. Hopefully it was a good vacay. I have so many questions. Like, you are so supportive.
Yeah.
These are full ass receipts of him texting her while they're shooting. So I just got back from Cabo. That's the honeymoon phase, what have you. So he's texting. They get their phones back when they rotate back to, in quotes, the real world, when they have to live with each other in the apartments. So that's when he's texting her, literally during shooting the show. Unreal. But Ashley has just said that they cut ties completely a year prior to it. Like, he's texting her during the show.
It's pretty sad, actually, but yeah.
No, like, they're so supportive. Yeah, I'm sure that's awkward. How does it feel to be engaged? LOL. When will we be able to see you? And here he is. It's weird as hell. It's scariest day of my life. Proposing through a blue wall. I'm not sure yet. I'll know tonight. He says, we have a meeting with the creator of the show and our producers to figure out what's next in a few weeks. He said, well, I want to know more. LOL. How's it going with y'all now that you have seen each other? This is crazy. He says, it's cool. She doesn't look like anyone I've ever dated. I'll just say that. LOL. And then he says, but she's so damn nice. Ashley, you do with that what you will. But you're literally just extremely supportive.
Right. Which that's important, because I think there's this narrative out there that Bri just wanted him wanted her family image so bad, and it's actually these texts are showing the complete opposite. She's so I'm finding a wife.
Complete opposite. People can, stop when they want to. But there is a moment where, okay, we start to kind of see a shift. But even with you said, okay, well, when is the wedding? So I know when I can tell the kids, they can expect to hopefully see or hear from their dad again. So we can.
Because as you can see, there's a shift. Like, at first he's telling me about how it is when he comes back from the show. Then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, when are they going to see you? And then it's like, I'm getting responses less and less, or like more and more excuses. And I'm like, all right, like, do we need to talk about your rights? Like, what's happening here? Because now I'm like, okay, now by this time I'm like, oh, he deleted his Facebook. I noticed this. And I'm like, okay, I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot. You've done this before.
Yeah.
What's happening? Like, okay, so he's trying to lead their lives again. Like,
yeah. So deleting his Facebook while they're shooting literally is him being like, oh shit, I need to distance myself. It's just, on his part, it's very bad, like, reality TV play, in my opinion. It's like bad strategy. If you're going to go into one of these shows, first of all, you shouldn't have something like this in your past that you're trying to hide. But if you are going to hide it, you got to scrub everything before you go into the show.
just say it. Just tell me. I want you to tell me.
So he had started to delete his socials.
Yes, that happened. I don't know when exactly happened. I know I noticed around the same time where I'm like, hey, when are the kids going to see you? And he's like, oh, we record every second of the day, and I don't know, whatever excuses he had. And I'm like, okay, but you have children and they haven't seen you since September 30th. Like, don't forget you got children. They would love to see you, or at least comment and acknowledge the video that I had them send you. Because
yeah, like I think you start seeing him get real, like the responses get far in between. I think if you're looking at the dates, it's like weeks in between. He'll like give you a little something. Is the month on those? Because that must have been after he got married.
October is cool. October, everything's still cool. It's when they get into November,
which were the weddings.
That's when things start getting tricky. Well, that's when things start getting vague. Like you can see, it's a whole bunch of blue text messages. And then he's saying, I have not had my phone since the first week back. We film all day until 10, 11 p.m. and they are back at 10 a.m. to take my phone, which is a lie because everybody has their phone once they're out of the pods.
Exactly. And I was the end of the show, and so I know this.
Good point. Yeah.
That is literally the thing. You come out of the pods, you come back from the honeymoon or vacay, whatever, they give you your phones. So this is a flat out lie. And then
yeah, I mean, they got him dead to rights there. That is a lie. So he's trying to blame his inability to see the kids on the show's production schedule, and they have my phone, and oh, I'm so sorry about that. So he's floundering. Like, I think what happened, this is my own estimation here, my own kind of conjecture about this, but what it seems like to me is that he goes into Love is Blind thinking, who knows what's going to happen. He winds up being one of the couples that is followed. And he's like, oh shit, I'm going to be on the show now. As soon as he gets his phone back, he starts trying to minimize his relationship with these kids through his communications with Bri. And then he starts deleting his Facebook, his social media, any proof that exists that might link him with those kids in any meaningful way. Unfortunately, he's also texting Bri. If you commit something to a text, that text can be shown on a podcast. That text can be posted on an Instagram story. He's just very sloppy with all of this, unfortunately, for him. But also, it's wild that he's just directly lying to her about this stuff. And what is he thinking in the moment? I guess he's just trying to do some kind of damage control. I don't know. It's just very sloppy.
Then you see Bri, okay.
There's
well,
no
then,
other way to really put
then she's asking about the wedding. Can the kids come? Then she talks about the rights because he's not answering. Like literally, November 7, he doesn't text you. You text him November 28.
Exactly. By the way, he's married by then.
Yeah.
I knew this because I saw on his mom's page a picture of her super dressed up, and I know that's how we're on show. And I'm like, she already got married. I didn't know because someone told me, but I can put two and two together. And that's why I'm like, okay, so clearly we didn't get invited to the wedding. Clearly you're not trying to reach out. And so I was like, let me see. I need to get your attention. You need to answer some questions.
Yeah.
Do we need to talk about your rights?
Yeah.
He still didn't respond. And then I said something else. And then I think he responded.
Yeah. You said no response again. Shake my head. I just wish I knew what I had to do to deserve this. But okay, you're making this much more difficult than it has to be. I wish you the absolute best. However, I'll be praying for you. And he says, I didn't even see this first message. I'll be in LA until the middle of December. Just let me know what you need from me. I'm not trying to make anything hard, which is a lie. Your weddings are over. You're done.
Yeah.
Literally done. So you're not in LA. You say need from me as far as what? He says, when would you like to talk? So we kind of see that's when everything really starts getting to take a sharp turn. It's good to show these messages because on the podcast, on the Nick Viall podcast, you have...
I like how she calls him Nick Viall. He's the greatest player who's ever played Bachelor. Okay.
Ashley, who says, Tyler cut off communication with you since 2022 or earlier. And when we look at these text messages, that's simply not true. She says he cut off communication with you and the children a year before they went on the show. And these text messages show that Liler was with them kids.
That's unreal, Liler.
Yeah. Then you guys up through October.
Oh, but wait, there's more. Okay, so in this next clip, it looks like Ashley claims Tyler was only around for holidays and implies that Tyler and Bri having a sexual relationship is a false narrative. Bri maintains that the twins were conceived naturally and recounts the moment when Tyler and her decided to keep the twins. Now, we've already seen this. Bri came out with a series of Instagram reels. I covered them in this channel. You can go back in our YouTube channel and find those if you want. But she said in those Instagram reels that indeed the twins were conceived, by natural means. And so I guess Ashley now on the Viall Files is going to claim that's not true. Let's take a look at this. This is absolutely wild to me. I don't know that there's ever been a scandal.
I don't
know that there's ever been a scandal quite like this in the Love is Blind franchise. There have been some other scandals, lawsuits against the producers for wrongful imprisonment, claims that people were not given proper food, or claims from Jeremy Hartwell, not even claims, a lawsuit that the show hired these people as independent contractors, but then misfiled the taxes so that they wouldn't have to pay them. All kinds of wild stuff. But this is probably the biggest scandal in Love is Blind history, I think. USA anyway.
Even Tyler's friends and parents. And again, it's kind of a little difficult for me to talk about this because I wasn't there.
Right.
I'm only going off of the things that I know and the things I'm trusting. And if anything ever comes out differently, I'll do like a Risa Tisa and give you guys a scoop. But I'm just going.
Tyler.
I'm just yeah. And so they basically said the same thing. Like, he was around. He let him calm down, but like they were young, like whatever. And he just didn't feel like that was his family. And again, it looks bad, but if you realize it's always holidays, it's always an event, it's always something. Like he's around on the floor playing with them. It's never like an intimate moment with these kids. He was always supposed to be an uncle, and even the ex-wife said it.
No, it was not just for holidays. This was not just for holidays.
Okay.
We weren't living together then, but we did live in the same apartment building when I had Cairo, so he would see Cairo all the time. I was working 12-hour shifts. When I worked nights, I'm like, hey, keep your son. He would keep Cairo, like
What?
So yeah.
Okay.
No, it wasn't just holidays.
No, and then it's the thing about like, he was sleeping.
Wait. So he would watch Cairo when she was at work, and Ashley is claiming that it was only on like birthdays and Christmas. That's, I don't know. I mean, make of it what you will. Everyone should make their own decisions on this and their own judgments and whatever. I try not to judge any of these people on any kind of personal stuff, but when you're in the show lying about components of your life, I view this as a sport, and I think it's like poor play. I think it's errors, basically. But this scandal is absolutely, it's just beyond anything in Love is Blind. And I don't think the show itself is ever going to come out and acknowledge that they played any part in this, but they obviously did. They cast this guy knowing at least to some degree some of this, or if they didn't, it's also negligence on their part, in my opinion. They should have known this. She should have known this. And now Ashley is either unwittingly coming out on the Viall Files, what Jessie Woo call them, the Viall Files. She's either unwittingly saying this stuff, not knowing that it can be contradicted immediately by Bri Thomas and her mountain of receipts, or she's actively covering for Tyler, who she is now married to. I don't know what the truth is there. One of those things seems like they must be true, though.
Being with her, it's like, what are you trying? Like, what is going on?
Right.
There's so many false narratives.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. The context you provided. I mean,
my ex-wife left.
Okay, so she is implying there the false narrative of the natural birth or the natural conception.
A couple weeks after Cairo was born, so we'll guesstimate October of 2017. The twins were born in April 9th, 2019. We can do math. I got pregnant in 2018. She was
far removed
around. No, the twins, quite frankly, were a mistake. We had sex and I got pregnant, and there was never an agreement about parenting these children because I had sex and I got pregnant. So you're the dad, I'm the mom. We already have a son that we are agreeing to, and we were gonna have 3 children.
And when me and Jessie spoke with your ex-wife, she actually mentioned that you actually considered not keeping the twins, and that was a decision you and Tyler came up with together to keep them. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I did not plan on having multiple kids with Tyler. That was not the plan. I even went to a clinic to terminate the pregnancy. And when I got there, I found out that I was having twins. I did not know before that. And after I found out that there was 2 babies in there, I could not go through with that. Tyler supported that decision. And we left the clinic. He was there with me at the clinic. And we left the clinic. We hugged. We were like, yep, we're about to have, like, he understood, like, yeah, I can't do this with multiples inside of me. And we left the clinic knowing we were going to be parents of 3.
Damn. Okay, so I mean, that essentially contradicts everything Ashley is saying, or the implications that the natural conception was, some kind of fabrication, some kind of false narrative. I mean, I guess to some degree, this boils down to like whoever you believe in this situation. They're telling 2 completely different stories that are contradictory. One of them seems like they must be right. That's up to you. As you watch this, you're watching the same evidence I am. It seems to me like Bri is probably the correct one here. Let's see what we got next. This is going to be Ashley claiming Bri reached out to her to apologize and claims that Tyler's mom told her that the situation was awkward for her too. And then Bri clarifies why she reached out to Ashley and provides more receipts from her messages with both Ashley and Tyler's mom. Oh my God, here we go. This is absolutely wild.
And Tyler, because Tyler had a really, really bad day and it was a really, really hard time. And I know that Tyler reached out to Bri in that second from the dogs page because he's blocked.
Wait, who's this again?
Our dogs page. So our dog Kobe has a Instagram page.
Okay.
Tyler reached out to the sperm donor mom on the dog page and basically was like, look, like, what are you doing? Like, stop this.
That's funny to me. No, I've never heard from Kobe.
Yep. But she also wrote me and apologized and said that, like, it's completely understandable if I never want to respond. And, she sure my world is crazy right now.
So wait a minute. So Bri is essentially saying that is a lie, that Tyler didn't reach out from the dogs page?
Now she never intentionally meant to cause me any pain. Like, she won't say too much in this message, but yeah. And so I'm like, well, you're kind of causing it too, because you came out there and did that. But I did welcome the message. I told her I'm surprised, but I welcome this.
I will say I'm very sad that the way that I intended those messages to come to her, she didn't receive it the way I intended. I was not apologizing for me, I don't know, causing stress in their lives. I reached out to her because I imagined my life had already started flipping upside down. And I imagined the same was happening for her. And at the time, I assumed that she did not know the full truth and that she was just getting all this backlash from people off of, something that wasn't her fault. And so I reached out to her and I'm like, hey, like, I'm so sorry that all this is happening. Basically, like, I'm sorry that that the truth is causing issues for you, or like you're getting backlash from the truth when you didn't have like a say, you didn't have an option because you didn't know the truth, is what I thought in my mind. I was not
and there's all the messages. You can pause that and read that if you like. But I mean, it's hard to deny somebody who has the receipts. Ashley can go on the Great Ones podcast, the Viall Files, and try to spin this in whatever direction she wants. But the Bri has the messages and is showing them all to everybody. At the very least, it seems like Bri is being more open, more forthright with the actual evidence in the, if you want to call this a case or whatever, the scandal. It's just hard not to believe her, in my opinion.
Apologizing, I don't know, I guess for some lie. Like, I didn't lie about anything that I said.
Here is what Bri says. Hi, super hard for me to write you right now, but I just wanted to say I hope you are okay, and I'm praying for you and Tyler both. A lot is happening right now, and I just never wanted to intentionally cause you any pain. I won't say much in this forum, but just wanted to reach out and say I hope you are okay. Completely understandable if you never respond to me. I'm sure your world is just as crazy, if not more so, than mine right now. I wish you the best. Ashley says hi. Was surprised to get the message, but I welcome it. As well. Getting attacked daily on social media is never fun, but I'm strong. Thanks for reaching out. Mind you, she says on Viall Files, I saw pictures, I saw birth certificates, and you never thought, let me talk to this woman. Let me talk to the mother. She even talked about falling in love with Cairo through his pictures. And I'm just like, so you would, all that love, you wasn't moved to call her the mama?
Yeah.
You weren't moved to call her mama? And so here goes Bri. Yeah, social media is death wild, and I was not ready for it all. LOL. I'm really sorry. I'm sure it will all pass. Stay strong. So this is not Bri apologizing about doing anything. She's apologizing about the aftermath of everything, and she's letting it be known, yo, like, I don't have any ill intention here.
I don't know, whatever this thought is, like, I didn't share these messages with anyone prior to this.
Yeah, I completely understand. All this is whooping my ass mentally. I'm down to talk. Oh no, I'm reading the wrong thing. I was trying to read the little thing they had about the social media. Yeah, social media is definitely wild, and I was not ready for it all. Lol. I'm really sorry. I'm sure it will all pass. Stay strong. So Ashley is basically just saying, like, this is just a social media thing. Don't worry about it. Meanwhile, there are 3 living children who, at this point, like, you know, what are they thinking about the fact that their dad has just kind of ghosted them and is now married to somebody on a reality show, and all this is, you know, it's all over the internet and all this. It's just kind of a dismissal of the emotional impact, the psychological impact that this is going to have on the people who really matter the most in this whole situation. I personally believe are the children.
Stay strong. So this is not Bri apologizing about doing anything. She's apologizing about the aftermath of everything, and she's letting it be known, yo, like, I don't have any ill intention here.
I don't know, whatever this thought is, like, I didn't share these messages with anyone prior to this. Like, I'm not out here like, hey, look, she talked to me. Like, I don't want any of this drama. I'm just being who I am, and I still feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
And what's happening to all of us, honestly. So I just was reaching out, and now, like, I don't know, it sucks that she didn't receive it, like I said, how I intended.
Well, she does say, she says, hello, I wasn't around for your combo with Tyler.
So this is different. This is after Tyler reached out to me, we had to talk about how he was going to clear everything up. This is separate from that initial conversation.
So the initial was just like a reach out, like, this sucks, going through this, like, hoping this all blows over soon type deal, and then you get this top message from her.
So she says, hello, I wasn't around for your combo with.
You know what's a question that I would be very curious to know of Bri is, did Love is Blind, did anyone from the show, like a producer, anybody from the production company, Kinetic Content, did anybody reach out to her from the show at all? That's fascinating to me if that answer is no. Because, I mean, she did say that she wasn't invited to the wedding. So it almost makes it seem like that, in her mind, at least, was a possibility. Did the producers talk to Tyler about that? I don't know. I have a million questions that I would want to ask her about.
Tyler, but I would like to have a convo with you as well at some point. This thing has turned filthy. I've never given my energy to so much negativity and evil in my life. For reference, Tyler told me a lot off camera to avoid this very thing happening. Now I'm seeing birth certificates out there and more. It's just out of hand. I know I technically was not involved in a party at the time of y'all's agreement, etc. But we all are adults, so we'd like to speak with you directly. So if you're open to it, no pressure. You say hi. That's fine with me. Are you looking for clarity on Tyler and his situation? She says not necessarily clarity though. Girl, what the fuck you looking for? I'm sorry, Bri. I'm sorry. Girl, what the fuck you looking for? She said not necessarily clarity though. I welcome your perspective.
Yeah, the language is wild. Like, I welcome what you got to say, but
oh my God, there are children. There are 3
Exactly.
children. Ma'am, I welcome your perspective, side of it all. I'm a girl's girl.
I welcome your side. Like, I'm not going to tell you what your truth is. I welcome your side.
I'm a girl's girl and don't want to say what your truth is, but I just think it's due time for you and I to have a chat, given that I'm being hounded via social media about everything. You say, I completely understand. All of this is whooping my ass mentally. I'm down to talk with you though. She says, cool. What would be good for you? You say, are we doing this on the phone?
Yeah. Because regardless if we never talk to you or the kids again, like, it's still a thing. And so I wouldn't mind having a sit down with you. Like, I want to know what the motive is here. Like, even his mom, like, when I talked to her, she's like, it is exactly what he's saying. And it used to be so uncomfortable for her.
Yeah.
You know?
That was very, very hurtful. There are receipts that his mom would reach out to me, and I mean no disrespect to his mom, but it was very hurtful to see that they agreed to this story that he told.
This is unreal. Now his mom is being brought into this, and she's like, at least the story that's being painted here is she's covering for him as well. This is unbelievable.
Before all of this aired, I reached out to his mom because she had come around for birthdays, in 2023 for the twins' birthday. And then in 2024, this year, she did not even reach out to say happy birthday. So before all of this even came out, I reached out to her and I let her know that I was very hurt by that. And I told her the same thing, like, I pray my kids forgive you one day, because why come into their lives if it's been awkward for you or whatever was said. I didn't beg, I didn't ask for y'all to be here. So why do this to my children? So I think it's important to note that they were around willingly. I didn't force anybody to be around my children. And that was very hurtful to hear. So I did want to address that.
Wow.
Yeah. You can see in messages that Jessie, that you're literally saying, like, you're choosing to cut them off too. Like, why is this happening again? Like, you're really just like, at this point, you know, Tyler and Ashley have been married for a while, and you've just noticed his absence. And so, yeah, I think I can imagine how hurtful that was to hear about the friends and family and people who have been in your children's lives also going along with this story.
And then she hits you back with, hey, so I've heard your mother put out another video. I wanted to meet with you, honestly, just to put all this to bed and to hear you out as well, if you'd like, and to actually show that the overall goal for us has always been protecting the innocent parties here. Truly, that includes what we decided to share or not share while filming, to avoid the very thing that is happening now. My heart and my intentions are always in the right place, and I wish you knew me in real life to know.
I mean, even that phrase, what we decided to share or not share while filming, means you actively had conversations essentially about lying, about withholding some part of the information of this, some part of the truth of this situation from the cameras. So you were concocting some version of a lie or lying through omission during the course of shooting Love is Blind season 7. That's what that phrase tells me anyway. That's how I'm interpreting it.
Know that. But now I have to say I'm a little uneasy with meeting up just because it's gotten so messy. You respond, hey, I honestly don't know what you know and what you don't know, but the fact that my mom is pissed off is warranted, period. In my opinion, I can't pretend that I am not also very hurt and angry by everything that has transpired publicly. My whole world has turned upside down because of this. And as much as I try to refrain from telling my mom certain things, because we are very, very much different in how we respond to things, she sees the pain this has caused me. I do not question your intentions at all. I do not hold anything against you. All you can do is go off of what you've been told. Just like everyone else. I want to believe what Lila said. She said Tyler, but I'm going to say Lila. I want to believe what Lila said so bad, because all I want is for this to be over. But it's tough. It truly is. And I understand being uneasy. This has been messy since the beginning, though. And if I'm being completely honest, it's nobody's fault but Tyler's. Period. I still wish y'all absolutely the best, and I hope it all ends soon. And that's that. I'm sorry, you're giving so much grace, but nobody's acknowledging the fact that these are your kids, you are their mother, and you have to deal with their father going on national television and denouncing them to the world. Like, I'm
for the rest of their lives.
really
That's kind of what I was saying. Like, you know, you go on reality TV and you're trying to spin your persona, your character this way or that way, or, you know, I know Nick Dorca got a lot of shit for saying that he wanted to be the most famous person in Love is Blind history or whatever. But like everybody who goes in these shows, the truth of it is, everyone who goes in these shows, whether you're there primarily to find love or maybe you want to get famous or whatever the case may be, you are aware that you're on a TV show. There's a camera in your face. You know that this is being shot to be aired on television. And that can come with insane repercussions. You can become super famous. You can be a Lauren Speed, a Cameron Hamilton from season 1, millions of Instagram followers, millions of YouTube followers. That can be your new job. Or you can have stuff like this happen where because of lying or lying through omission, there can be dire consequences for people outside the show that your life touches. In this case, literally his children. All right, we have this next piece here. This is the origin of the false narratives. Ashley speculates on the strained relationship with Bri and Bri's mom, and Bri's sexuality comes into question. All right, here we go. Let's check out this piece. This is absolutely insane. Can't thank our social media manager, Anya, enough for putting together this very in-depth kind of counterpoint video of these two interviews. I think this is going to be the final chapter in this story, but we'll see where it goes.
Who do you think put it out for the world to see? Because it came from
The
somewhere.
grandma.
You think it was?
No, it did. She came up with the whole TikTok of all the pictures of Tyler. And I, again, am repeating what I know. The grandma is like, you'll never see pictures of, I'll say it this way, you'll never see pictures of her daughter with her wife or with her LGBTQIA partner, ever. So that's where the dad t-shirts and dad's son come at play. And this is what I've seen my firsthand. And this is what I've heard from people who know both parties.
Right.
Because they were in the Army, so they have mutual Army friends. She never liked that about.
She didn't accept that about her daughter. It doesn't seem like.
Mm-hmm. So now there are videos like, that's your dad. You know who that is?
Mhm.
You know who you're playing with? That's your dad. Right?
So grandma's projecting.
And
a
I
narrative that she
and I
wants
genuinely
to
feel
believe.
like, and if Bri ever sees this, like, I think that that's why the sperm donor mom reached out to me and apologized because I think she's in an uncomfortable situation of feeling like people are adding pressure on her to be this person that I don't think she is.
I feel that if Bri's sexuality was not a focal point, that half of these discussions, I feel like Ashley wouldn't even be bringing them up, because it's the whole, oh, they're lesbians. It's a lesbian couple. It's a lesbian couple. Hey, they're gay. She's gay. She's gay. And it's like,
with a woman. Yeah.
Bri has a vagina.
Yeah.
She has a vagina. It's, guys, sexuality is a spectrum. They was fucking. They was fucking. Them kids came because they was fucking, guys. Vagina, penis, hot. It's simple.
Even on the Viall Files, we're not hearing any admission that these twins were conceived naturally. She literally at one point says, and then there's rumors that, that they slept together. Oh, there's so many false narratives. And it's like, she just doesn't want to, I don't know if she doesn't want to face the truth or she genuinely doesn't know the truth. And if that's the case, I pity her.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of fascinating. I hadn't thought about that part of it, I guess, but they could be right. It could be the sexuality that's making the grandma, push one way or another. I don't know. Another piece of this big scandal is like, clearly Tyler's lying. Maybe Ashley's trying to cover for him. Maybe she's genuinely in the dark about some of these things. We don't know. But I do encourage everybody to kind of make their own conclusion about all of this. And whatever your conclusion is, don't DM any of the people involved any nasty shit. There's no need to do that. Okay, so here we go. In conclusion, where do they go from here? Ashley and Bri discuss what the future holds, I guess, for each of them. Here we go. Oh, God. I can't wait for the next season, by the way.
7 and 5 or something.
But time goes fast, and they'll be 18 at some point.
Mm-hmm.
When that day happens, if these children decide that they want to have a relationship with their biological father, have you guys talked about what conversations or what you guys will do about that?
Yeah, so even during filming, I think I say something along the lines of like, I had to figure out when I chose to say, I'll give this another try, with Tyler, I had to also think about what happens if they do come. Right now, they're removed because you removed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens if they do turn 18 and there's no rules to this and they say, I am going to contact you, or even 16, 15, whatever. They have social media, they have iPads. These kids work on better than us. So I'm like, what does that look like? I could not in good faith say yes to a marriage unless I was okay with that coming. And I asked him what that's like for him. And he's like, he's willing to have that tough conversation with them on why, you were supposed to have 2 moms. That is always what the plan was. And things got blurry and things got too deep. And I'm sorry if you were ever hurt in that process when you were young, he says. And I was like, do you think you're really going to be able to say that to him? And he's very confident in that way because he just doesn't see what he did as a negative thing.
Bri came with receipts, and you can't argue with a receipt. Like I just hate that Tyler's being painted like the victim.
If Tyler wants nothing to do with my kids, as he and Ashley have both at this point made very clear, then okay, then y'all just go ahead with your lives. Somebody pay his child support that we agreed to. And as I said multiple times over and over again, I really do wish y'all the best. Just leave me out of it. Stop saying lies about me, because if y'all or anyone close to y'all continue to lie on me, I will continue to provide receipts. I have more. I can go however far you want this to go. And I'm just tired of sitting here while me and my kids get lied on.
She has more receipts.
I will take this however far it needs to go. If it needs to go straight to hell, then that's where I'll take it.
Holy shit. If it needs to go straight to hell, that's where she'll take it. Oh my God. Well, I don't think it's going to go to hell, because we have on February 14th, 2025, Love is Blind Season 8 in Minnesota is going to be airing, and all of this will be ancient history. That said, I do believe this is the biggest scandal so far in Love is Blind history to date. Who knows what's going to happen in that Season 8? But thank you for joining me for this coverage. Thank you again to Anya, our social media manager, for putting together this incredible video, that huge list of the timeline in the beginning. And thanks for everybody for hanging on and watching this. I still think there's a big piece of this story that's not really being addressed, which is what responsibility do the producers bear in all of this happening? Did they know about it? If they didn't know about it, is that some kind of bad at job type thing that should be addressed? You know, should they have known about it if they didn't? I personally think they did. This is just my 2 cents. I think they did, and I think that they tried to not air as much of it as they could have because they needed Tyler and Ashley to be one of their A couples. I don't think they could have gotten away with just Garrett and Taylor as their only A couple. They needed to make sure that Tyler and Ashley not only got married, but were presented at the reunion as an A couple. Certainly by the reunion, they knew about all of this, and they let Tyler sit up there and basically say, I've said everything I need to say to the people who needed to hear it, and that's all you needed to know. Meanwhile, this is happening, you know, and meanwhile, Ashley's going on the Viall Files. I think if she maybe didn't go on the Viall Files, maybe Bri never goes on Jessie Woo's show and provides counter receipts. I don't know, but this has been a wild season with a wild scandal. We have covered it all. Hopefully this is the final chapter. Thank you for joining me, and we'll be having more coverage on Golden Bachelorette season finale. Our recap of that will be out Thursday, and This Week in Bachelor Nation will be out Friday, and we're going to be covering all the stuff that is coming in the months to come. Thank you again for joining us.